What's going on, guys? K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great day today. Hope you had a great weekend. Lots of people had a 3-day weekend. So now we're back on the grind, and you did see that crazy uptick for Bitcoin. Now, why did this happen? Well, it was because actually over the weekend, we kind of solved that debt ceiling issue, which we pretty much knew what they were going to do anyway, right? We knew that they were just going to raise it again. Well, at the same time, we also had Biden's 30% Bitcoin mining tax actually get rejected at the same time. So it was sort of a double whammy in a good way for Bitcoin. But now the question is Bitcoin actually setting up for a bigger move, or was it just a little sort of response of the markets to the news? Well, there is something that is happening right now in the Bitcoin chart that we have literally never seen Bitcoin ever do in Bitcoin's history. And it's also coinciding with something that we have spoke about for a long time on this channel. So I definitely have to show this to you guys. It's pretty exciting. This could be an actual historic moment for Bitcoin. So let's dive in. So we've been looking at this traditional chart for a very long time. And what we saw right here is that Bitcoin was actually being held down by this 200 weekly, but now it appears that Bitcoin is actually being supported by the 200 weekly moving average. And what's interesting is we're also potentially looking to see a golden cross at some point, when these two lines cross, maybe out here somewhere in, July or possibly even the end of this month, depending on how much the price moves up. But what's interesting is coinciding with that, like Crypto Professor pointed out, is that if you actually look at the 20 moving average and the 200, it's about to make its first golden cross in history. He says this has never happened before. At the same time, both bands are serving as support right now. So we had the death cross in September of last year when we had the FTX crash. So maybe this means that the times are behind us, right? So not only are we about to have this first potentially over here, but at the same time, we're looking to have this major one. These are more of the traditional averages, right? The 200 and the 50. So we could have a double whammy in the best of possible ways. The other thing I wanted to point out is that we actually came down here into the EMA ribbon, we bounced back above it, and look at this, we actually got back above the 100 EMA and the 89 MA, and we're sitting above both of them currently right now. We bounced off this ribbon, and you could see that this yellow right here, right? This yellow, it looks like it wants to actually flip the red. And based on the size of the distance between these candles, I think there's a strong possibility that we could actually see this cross up here by next week. And we know that whenever we have these flips, for example, we had this flip down here, you had the yellow moving above the red, and you could see that was right here. We went from about $8,000 all the way up to about $13,000. And again, we had another one during that COVID where it flipped really quick. And of course, that took us to our major level. And then you can see right here, once we had a negative flip, well, that's when we went into the bear, right? So there are a lot of things that are lining up right now. And I did say that we had to go down to 25,300, or at least I had thought we could have. I still think it's a possibility. But, maybe you don't always get what you want. Maybe this was it. Maybe this low right here at around that 25,000 sort of 800. Maybe that was as low as we were going to get. You can see we did have two tests right there. And if we have a look at this parallel channel, you could argue that these are pretty good closes, right? This is pretty much the third confirmation on this point right here. So there is that possibility that, maybe this was it. Maybe we don't come down to 25,300. I still would prefer if we did. I know people don't want to do that. I just like getting that full-on confirmation, but maybe that was the move that we were waiting for. Who knows? Again, right here, as long as we have this uptrend, which, you can see that we have come off this uptrend by quite a bit. That's why I said we still could come down here and retest this trend. But if we do continue to the upside, right, if we do break this downward sloping trend, then the next level is, again, retesting right around $31,000 even, right? And ultimately, as long as we maintain on this upwards trend, then the trend is your friend, the macro trend, right? Okay, on the short term, yes, but we did break this and retest it, right? Same thing here. We broke it and we retested it. So this is telling me that, a lot of people are still stuck in that bearish mind frame thinking that we're going to just go down to 15 or 10. I think those people may not get what they're waiting for. Even like Trader Tardigrade pointed out, and this is another way you can look at it. We've shown the 4-year cycles on our channel with the halving, but he just broke it down on just this simple trend, right? You have this trend, and then you break that trend, and then you retest it. So you have bear 1, bear 2, the first part of the bull, and then the final part. Same thing here, right? Bear 1, bear 2, we break it, we retest it, boom. And the same thing happened right here, right? we have this come down here. We actually fell below in this area, and now we're moving upwards. And even if you just have a look at the chart right here, you could see there are a lot of confluence, right? You could see this area right here on the guppy that we spoke. We had 3 blues. We had the red moving into the neutral. And what do we have up here? We had 3 blues and we have the red moving into the neutral, right? And we know that once we tend to hit this neutral, we generally begin to start that slow crawl into that big pump, right? Looking down here, market cipher, we also notice very similar things, right? We of course had our green dot, we had our red money flow down here. And you could see a lot of similarities in these moves where you did start to have, you know, this area right here that was coming up. You had the RSI moving up. The purple in particular was getting quite high. And people thought that maybe that was the end, right? We were about 8,000. And again, like I said, we went up to about 14,000. So again, if we come over here, we're seeing something very similar, right? Moving out of the red. We also have this moving above. We have the purple RSI, similar situations on the guppy. And you can even say right here, if we have a look at what was going on in wave edge, right? We had the green wave moving into the red wave, right? And basically, once we got above this 0 line, we continued for quite some time. And if we come over here, we're having a potential similarity where you could see that we are coming. We're not perfectly there yet. The 0 line is right here. So we still have a little bit more to go. Or I guess actually, technically, excuse me, guys, it's not the 0. Is that the 0? It's like, is that 0.7? Or I don't know. Maybe they have it set up differently on here. But anyway, long story short, basically when you flip to the upside right here, and it does look like that's basically what we're trying to do. And you even had a little bit of an uptick in the stocks as well. Stocks having difficulty breaking this uptrend. But, you know, guys, I think everyone is waking up. And, you know, a lot of people, they like to turn it into a political thing. Democrats versus Republicans. You guys know I'm not political on this channel. I just vote for the person who is crypto friendly. Okay, I don't care what side of the coin you're on. I mean, at the end of the day, politicians are going to be politicians. But, you know, RFK Jr., this guy is a Democrat, okay? And he's even saying that, you know, he's slamming the SEC for protecting banks instead of Americans, and he's calling for crypto-friendly commissioners. So what are the odds that in this race we could have a Democrat and a Republican who are both crypto-friendly? Wouldn't that be interesting, right? So it says he does not want anti-crypto people on the SEC. He also slammed the regulator for protecting banks rather than the American people. What they're doing is obscure, it's not transparent, and it's not bringing transparency to our system. So yeah, I mean, you're just seeing a lot of the change in the space, and I do think that not only are you seeing sentiment sort of change, but you're also seeing all of these things coinciding, staying on this area, potentially putting in this first ever golden cross that we've had with the 20, coinciding with this golden cross possibly right here on the 50 and the 200, right? And having a look at these legacy indicators, they all seem to be pointing as well. So for everyone who's been really down in the dumps about the Bitcoin price action and everything that's been going on right now, I'm not going to say, you know, just throw all your money into meme coins. I mean, I would think that you should probably, not financial advice, be looking into maybe allocating dollar cost averaging or, you know, gaining exposure to things that you believe will have longer term value. But hey, you know, if you want to gamble on some meme coins, have fun with that. So again, guys, not really too much going on in the news right now. I know it was mostly just a TA video, but it is something to pay attention to because we saw those similarities in that cycle. We're seeing something happen for the first time ever, which could coincide with the other golden cross that we're having on the traditional 50 and the 200, as well as all of these legacy indicators. So let me know what you guys think. Are you excited? Are you bullish? Are you bearish? Are you just straight up bored in the markets? Are you guys buying meme coins? What are you guys doing right now? So as you guys know, I have been in the process of also relocating, so that's why I haven't been able to make as many videos, but I am looking forward to being able to make some videos in the new location as well. So thanks again, guys, for coming back to the channel. You guys rock. You're the reason I make this video in the first place. And if you do want to learn how to trade, make sure you check out this tutorial popping up right here, right now. Until next time, stay crypto. Have a great and wonderful week. And of course, peace out.